Okay, so today is March 19th. We are already in March. I have other ones that I still need to post. There's been a lot that's going on. It's March 19th, and my show now is going to be April 4th. I'm hoping it's April 4th, which makes me nervous because it is not all natural. It's also a amateur and pro show, so it's an extremely long day. I'm going to go against a lot of people that have been in the industry and know what they're doing, but that just makes me more determined to get where I need to get. This morning I realized that what I was taking to boost my fat loss was not taken right, because my coach told me, anyway, there's some changes being made. I just made a ton of really good treats I'm hoping to post and share, and I made these little pancake muffins, the chocolate ones. The pudding itself the batter is like a pudding, so I will post as two separate things. I'm so excited for them. The cinnamon roll ones are really good, and I haven't had the regular one, but super happy. I am very low carb, very low calorie. I am still cycling, but even today I get 1,400 calories, but 90 carbs. So that is very low. I've been at 1,280 for calories and 70 for carbs. Carbs are good for you. That's what helps fuel you, especially when you work out as much as I do. Helps to build muscle. Right now, I am burning as much fat as I can, I'm trying to get it off as quickly as I can without just having a ton. If you lose it too fast, you end up with extra skin, and that's what I don't want. So we're playing with things. I also don't want to eat all of my meal all at the same time, and I'm very good at fasting and waiting and then eating everything at once, so I'm trying to spread everything out. I went and got more of the rice noodles that have like konjac, noodles. The same thing that's in pho. They're rice noodles. There's virtually no calories, no carbs to them, so you feel like you've eaten pasta without eating pasta. I cannot wait to go back to Kaizen and get my carbs and all the things back. But for now, I'm low on all of it. So I just went to Sprouts and got some more. I got some more Big Mountain tofu. I was let go from my job, which I totally understand. They're legally, they have to follow it. They let the other person go. And so I realized my system's been in shock for months. I went onto this team with somebody I very much so respected and wanted to work with. I was excited for the opportunity. I put off vacations. I worked overtime. I did so much to help because she was falling short. She did have surgery, and it made sense that she was going through things and needed the recovery. And I kept telling her, slow down, get yourself healed, all these things. The more and more that I looked at it, especially towards the time that all of this went down, it reminded me too much of when I used to drink and all the things that used to happen. So sadly, I think she has an issue. They have an issue, and they have to take care of it. But they had to let them go. And because I was a part of it, they had to let me go. And so it sucks, but it's a bigger opportunity. I look at when I started with Reputation Defender, I had been laid off from my old job, and I was still working at the restaurant, and I needed the money from the restaurant living in the Bay. And I was like, I'm just going to get a weekend customer support job. It turned into a full-time. They gave me the hours that I wanted, the money that I wanted, everything that I needed. And so I was able to do both and make my money during that time and grow. And I was there 9 years. I moved up. I started their Reputation Defender service, which went back and forth in names. I grew. I was manager at the end. I was had 5 different positions when I left that company. And then with AAA, same thing. It was a new division, so it was technically a startup. And I took a job that I had 5 different offers. I took a job that was supposed to be less money, less stress, less all these things. We got out of training, we went into COVID, and I was working 80 hours a week. I started my meal prep business, I started my Airbnb business, I started my body combat training, all these things. And I had to learn to start one by one. So all to this, when I was put on leave is when I started to really get into prep, and I needed to focus on a lot of things. I'm trying to finish up assignments for school, and I had another class starting and wanted to knock that out. This past week, I had another class start week and a half ago, another class start, and I'm in week 2, and I'm freaking out that I haven't gotten all 8 weeks of assignments done. All weeks, 8 weeks got done in like 3-4 days, but I stressed off of it. There was the Mercury retrograde does not end until the 20th. We have had eclipse season, all of this happening. I got put on leave. I got my homework done. Then something happened that freaked me out about losing my job. I couldn't get a hold of anybody over there, my friends over there. I was like, am I fired? Am I not? What is going on? I need an update. It's been 3 weeks, but I'm still getting paid. I need to stop stressing. That's when Mercury retrograde had started. That morning, I was like, okay, I booked a Pilates class. I'm good. Turns out I booked yoga. I get to Pilates and find out, I'm like, all right, let me go practice body combat. So I booked it for the next day. And then I'm in a car accident after, as I'm going to do this poop study thing, chia seed study thing. And that just threw me out. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever happens, happens. AAA was able to put my bumper back on. Things were good. I ended up talking to one of my friends at work, found out that the notification that I got had happened to everybody, wasn't a big deal. The next week, by next Wednesday, I think I finished my homework. I got everything back on track. The eclipse season was over. Okay, cool. We're still in retrograde. It reminds me to slow down. The accident reminded me to slow down. I kept telling myself, watch out, watch out. I felt a car accident coming. A few days later, I felt a car accident coming, and I had to screech to a halt from this person hitting me. Was not in the accident, but my back is still, dealing with this. I had been in trauma response since I went onto this team. I went under somebody that I fully respected and was excited to do work with, and they went for surgery, so it made sense that they weren't fully back when they came back. But I canceled vacations. I was in the Bay Area and canceled my PTO so that I could cover that entire week and had to work things around for this job. I went to LA. I had to cancel my vacation because we had back-to-back sessions that I needed to be a part of because they couldn't be a part of it. I then was on trauma response because they kept missing meetings, and I kept having to am I going to have a meeting? Am I not? I wouldn't find out until the time of the meeting. When I started with Reputation Defender, I had been laid off from my job. And I took this job, cool, things happen as executive admin, IT world, that stuff happens all the time, startups fail. And I took a job in customer support that was supposed to be 2 days a week so I could work at the restaurant. I wasn't going to stress as much. It was going to be easier. I'll make my cash at the restaurant, just work more. They ended up offering me a full-time job, all the hours, everything that I wanted. I moved up over 9 years. I helped them start Reputation.com, which ReputationDefender.com went back and forth on names. I ended up with 5 different positions by the time I left, in 5 different positions, and I ran at least 2 of them the entire 9 years that I was there. So I got a lot of experience, a lot under my belt. AAA, it was a buyout. They bought out security companies, so it was a startup within AAA. I was hired. I was able to get the manager to give me what I was looking for my pay, but I turned down 5 other jobs. I have 5 job offers. I turned down 4 others because I wanted something easier. I got out of training, 2 weeks of training, and COVID hit. And I was like, cool, 80 hours a week. I started my meal prep business. I started my Airbnb business. All these things happened because of it. And I was like, all right, so whatever happens, I know that I'm going to be okay. My Airbnb business makes enough money for me to be comfortable. But it doesn't stay consistent throughout the year. It stays steady. It does not stay consistent day to day because it's only a couple days at a time. So a minimum of 3 up to 30. And it just depends on the time of year. It's Arizona. Not everybody wants to come when it's 112 outside. It's going to be 106 this week. That is it. The East Coast is getting storms while the West Coast has heat waves. I left the Bay because I couldn't stand getting heat waves and not having anything but a fan. Here I have AC. It's 72 degrees in my house at all times. I am happy to be here. So whatever I do, like, I have been trying to get my homework done. A new class started when I went on leave. I stressed to get everything done. I got it done. Might have a video on that. I then was like getting other things done, and then it snuck up and I had another class 2 weeks later and I just freaked out. So I was in a car accident when Mercury retrograde started. And there were other things. I was recording this and had to stop because a call came through and another call was just coming through, and I'm ignoring them because I'm trying to get all this out. This is for me to reflect on. I, again, have been in trauma response, trying to cover for this person. I get put on leave. I have to wait to get an answer. I'm trying to get my homework done 8 weeks in a few days. I then have more homework to do. Then I have meal prep to do. I'm in, going into the depths of my cut. Now I'm in the depths of my cut. I have like 1,280 calories, 70 carbs. Today I actually get 1,400 calories and 90 carbs, which is still nothing. I just bought more shirataki noodles and I'm making these recipes. I have these muffins I cannot wait to share with you guys. They are high protein, low carb, low calorie. They are delicious. The pudding for the chocolate one, or the mix for the chocolate one, is like a pudding. So I'm going to share both. They are incredible. There's just so much that has been going on. Again, I am all over the place because I want to share everything that I'm feeling, everything that's happening. So Mercury retrograde, I remember that day because that Thursday is when it started. I booked a class pass thing. I thought I had booked my Pilates class. Turns out it was yoga. I'm at Pilates. I'm like, here it goes. She's like, that's yoga. I'm like, screw it. I'm going to practice combat. Go back on Friday, have my class. I remember telling myself, slow down. Mercury retrograde is a time to slow down. Venus eclipse was something that was, it was changing us. And I'm going straight. The other person decides to run the light as I have the green, because I remember looking at the map and looking at the green light. It was like, let's go. And then all of a sudden there was a car right in front of me, and I tried to brake. It wasn't enough time. So I got my car back today. I'm excited about that. A few days later, the week after, I found out that I was being terminated from my job. And it makes sense. This person that was missing work, I had to cancel my vacations for, that I had to cover for, that I had to wait until the time of the meeting to find out. I have to go reschedule the meeting or do it by myself because they're not going to be able to attend. I had talked about it. I did something that I didn't feel comfortable doing for them, and I still did it, and I should have told HR. Somebody that I told HR. It came back because I did it. They're in the wrong. They got fired. They still have to fire me because the other person could sue them for letting me give them painkillers that I shouldn't have given them painkillers. It's against the policy, and I get it. I screwed up. I felt bad from the moment I did it. I've shared that. I've shared that on this. I've shared it on Instagram. Doesn't matter. I was still in the wrong. So I was let go. But I have been so busy with school. I've had interviews since this has happened. But I know whatever I'm going to get, it is going to kick ass. I need something that is remote because I still have my Airbnb. So on my break, on my lunch, on whatever, I have to be able to clean. I have my dog. I have so many things that I do that maybe I'll start my own business. Maybe I will work for a company that allows me to do both. I don't know, but I have time and I can figure this out. I have been stressing, let's get the homework done. Let's get the homework done. That is done. Now let's get meal prep done. It's 3 o'clock and I have not slowed down since 3 a.m. I had an Airbnb, one of them today, message me, was like, do you have a stool or a chair that you could put in the room? You booked this saying that you just needed a place to sleep and shower. What do you know? There's a dresser in that room. There's no room for a stool or a chair. The other room was still available when you booked it, and it has a desk and a chair because it doesn't have a dresser. The other one, she was like, I could hear the person in the other room sleeping, and you left at 4:30 in the morning. Okay, I leave at 4:30 every day. Nobody ever like notices this. You got in at 9 o'clock. I was asleep at 7. I didn't hear you. You were a very light sleeper. So she ended up canceling, and immediately somebody else booked. I have to deal with these things. I still had to clean the room. I still had to get things ready. It's a process. So I am figuring out what I want to do and how I want to do it. I said this prep was going to be easier. The last prep, I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. I went from one trauma to another, to let me lose weight, to let me do a bodybuilding show. My dog was dying. I had somebody else that was pulling energy from me constantly, like, oh, I'm sick, I'm sad, I'm all these things. And the second I needed help from them, they dropped on me, and I had to figure things out for my show, for my dogs and whatnot. And I did. After that, my dog had passed. This time I'm like, okay, things are good. My job is good. My everything is good. School's good. All of this happened, right? Like, it wasn't good. It wasn't steady because that person was putting a strain on me, asking me to cover the meetings, cover their vacation, cover these things. And my stress levels were high without me really realizing it. And so I'm sure as I go back through these videos, I get to hear it and I get to see it. I have more energy. I have more like excitement doing this video and the last one because I know that there's so much good coming. There's so much that is just like, ah. So I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are excited for it. I will do these more often. I am saying that. I am hoping it is true. I don't know if it's true until it is. I am working to, now that everything is over, they didn't make me sign an NDA, so I'll may tell the full story at some point. But yeah, I want to edit these and show you guys. I still have all the videos videos and photos from like me gained with the weight, me with the weight on that I gained, to each week losing it. And I want to show you guys that. I want to show you the progress and my workouts and everything else and all the goodies that I'm making. So I will get to that. I hope you guys have a lovely day. See ya.